Hello and welcome to another Tonalist landscape oil painting demonstration with your painter-in-residence, M. Francis McCarthy, and welcome as well to Day 5 of the Past Masters series, Volume 2. You can see my list of colors I keep on my palette scrolling on by there. And the study that we are doing today was painted after a George Inness, and the name of his painting was called In the Gloaming. And I've been aware of this painting for quite a while. It's actually like very simple painting as far as composition goes, but there's a lot of very interesting textural things going on. I haven't seen the painting in real life. That would be absolutely awesome. It would be great to maybe do a tour of all the museums that have George Innes's and check them all out. That would be great. But I've only seen a few George Innes's in real life, but that did give me a real good sense of his approach, and a lot of his texture is being created by the fact that he's doing paintings on top of paintings, and he also was really big on techniques like scumbling and dry brushing. And if you look at the biography his son wrote, he basically would throw everything and anything at a painting to get the effect that he wanted. He wasn't precious about his technique. He would scratch, he would scrape, he would dig, he would glaze, he would scumble, and if he wasn't happy, he would throw it all out and do another painting right over the top of it. So this creates some really interesting textural things, and I got some really good textural effects in this painting, even before going into the second pass, because this is one of the my new board prep technique is really supporting what I do very well, and it's great. I'm absolutely loving working on these new boards because they have a nice texture, but it's not too eye-catching. It feels very organic. It feels like there might be a painting underneath, and that's the effect that I was always going for. And as I've stated in the past, really all it took was to spend more time and energy in creating a interesting surface. So automatic processes that were quick and easy were giving me limited results. It wasn't until I hunkered down and came up with my 3-step process that I believe I put in a video about 2 months ago. You can find that. Just go to my channel and type in board prep. Anyway, it's been awesome, not just on the Past Masters, of course, but in my doing my own thing. And hopefully you saw the video I put up yesterday, or late yesterday evening. Pardon me, a little bit of sniffles, a little bit of allergies today. I don't know what's going on. Probably some pine tree. But apologize for the sniffles. Anyway, really like that painting myself, and that's been informed by the studies I've done after the Masters, and it's all kind of congealing in my subconscious and oozing out. Anyway, George Inness. We all know old George. He's one of the tonalists that still, he still has a name, and his work goes for a decent amount of money. Although, I mean, to see something like Jean-Michel Bisquat go for $11 million or however much insane amount of money people are spending on that stuff, George Inness should go for 5 times as much, because it's 5 times better, maybe 100 times better. But I won't start ragging on old poor Jean-Michel. He's not alive to defend himself, and let's just suffice to say I don't like that type of painting at all. And lazy results, give you lazy paintings, but there's something to be said for marketing, I'll tell you that. And marketing is what carries the day there. Anyway, had my opening. My show is currently going in Fongaray. Had some real good sales yesterday, which is awesome because I took some of that cash and have bought myself some excellent plugins for my music production, and I'm really excited about that. You can hear my music real quietly underneath the talking, and I do my best to keep it quiet. I don't want to have a war, between my voice and the little backing track underneath. It is nice to have a little something underneath, but I absolutely love making music, and I love painting too. I think it's probably easier to sell paintings than music, but then again, what do I know? Yeah, I'm just an artist, not a seller, not a marketer, Anyway, so in the studio, as I mentioned, I did a plate yesterday, and I'm debating whether I want to add. It really came out cool, and I knew it would. I get feelings about these things before I even do them sometimes. I know paintings are going to be cool. And it is. And I think I just came to me this morning while soaking in the tub that perhaps what I'll do is just ask for a second plate and then do a second version and then give them the one I like least. Anyway, hey, now you can see I'm doing some interesting dry brush effects, and this is where that texture of the board really comes into play, really comes to the fore, because it can be actually a little bit of a pain in the rear end on the first color pass, because you've got to maybe dig in a little more of your paint than you might want to and than you might need to on a smooth surface. But the big payoffs come when you want to do a bit of dry brushing or other effects like glazing, with the glazing you can rub it down and then wipe off the surface, and you'll get little bits of pigment in the in the little nooks, and crevices of the texture. With the dry brush, basically you're dragging your brush over the tops of that texture. So, pardon me. Yeah, sorry about that. I know it's annoying when you're listening to these things, but what can I say? As far as I last week, as far as painting goes, it was a wash for the most part. I got almost zero done. That's one of the things with getting a show together. You've got to do all the printed materials and run around, sort the framing, and but it's ultimately really good. It's like almost never my idea to really want to have a show, but when I'm invited to do so, I'm always happy I did afterwards, because it is good to know that your work's being well received. I can't get too hung up on that, and I don't recommend you as a painter get too hung up on that stuff either, because if you get too tied into the praise, it's going to be really hard when it's not there. And so it's probably best to just work with your own internal critic for the most part, who is almost always going to be favorably inclined towards your work because it's yours, and always be there for you, whereas fans can come and fans can go, and all you have to do is change your style, and you'll see that. Anyway, that said, I absolutely love any fans of my work and people that collect it. I'm so thankful for that, and I'm really glad that they chose to put my work in their homes and have it be part of their life and influence their life. And that's a reward in and of itself, but it can't be something that's the focal point of your drive as an artist, because it'll give you feet of clay. What gives you real support as an artist is to, look at the work of the masters, work towards that, and then you can bring yourself up and bring yourself along that way. Anyway, see, we're kind of close to the end, and so glad I got this. I'm going to have this video up today, and it'll be there for you. I know the George Inness studies are some of the more popular things in the channel, so hopefully you guys will dig this one. It's a really kind of simple one, but it was groovy. It was really fun to do, and I really ought to do something like this with one of my own paintings. Anyway, we'll be back real soon with another video. Meanwhile, please take good care of yourself and your family. Thanks for subscribing, by the way, and please click like. And see you later. Take good care. Stay out of trouble.